Weight Watchers plan with, okay. But this is just for the what, oh my gosh. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video we are talking about the new Weight Watchers updates and program changes. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and jump right in talking about the changes to the program. So if you guys don't know, Weight Watchers has made some changes to the program as of this morning. It is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, and we've got some changes to the plan that I'm actually really excited about. So I had made a video about a month ago talking about the upcoming changes that we had kind of heard about through people hearing them in workshops and stuff, and some things that have been tested in the apps. I've actually had the macro tracking in my app for a little bit now, so it's been nice to kind of see how it works and see that it's part of the new changes that they've made to the program. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about the changes, but I still just wanted to make this video because I always like to discuss the new changes and kind of hear what you guys think about it, and also just give my opinion and how it's going to be changing for me, like if it's going to change the way I'm eating or shopping and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started talking about the biggest thing, which I think is them adding more 0-point foods. So we've got a new upgraded list of 0-point foods on Weight Watchers, including oats and potatoes, which I think are the two biggest ones people are most excited about, but also lean meats, which I am so excited about. Not even for the beef and like steak and stuff, but I am so excited that I can now count all ground chicken as 0 points and ground turkey, because I do like to switch it up between 93 and 99% turkey, but it really is so much harder and more expensive to find the 99% all the time. And I just think that them adding the 93%, and actually it also goes to 90% lean, but I usually do the 93. I think them adding it is going to make it so much easier for people to incorporate these proteins without worrying about having to spend more money or shop somewhere special to find like the 99% lean. Especially when I go to like Sam's Club and Costco, they usually only have like the plain ground chicken that's not the chicken breast, that's 0 points, and then they usually have like 93% lean ground turkey. So now I can buy that in bulk. I'm really excited about that. It'll save me some money, and it just helps me to mix things up. I'm still going to buy the 99% lean, but I definitely can see myself going for the 93% a lot more. There's times I've put off buying it and I thought like I'll just buy chicken breast or something later because I want to try to keep the proteins 0 points. So having way more 0-point protein options, I think it's just going to make this program more sustainable, especially for me because I don't like to track my 0-point foods. So having fewer foods that I need to track is always a bonus. I personally don't eat a lot of oats, but when it was 0 points a couple years ago, I did incorporate them a lot more, and I liked that they were so much more satiating. They kept me full, and they're just like a good source of fiber. I'm excited to have them back because I think I'll start making baked oats a lot more. I know Adam will start doing a lot more overnight oats because those are so easy for him to pack for work in a mason jar, and having the oats be 0 points just makes it so much easier to make a filling breakfast that is within your point value. So I'm excited about that change. I'm excited about the potatoes. That's another thing that I feel like I'll start to incorporate a little bit more. It's one of those foods that every time I eat them, I feel so full from them, but it's not always one of my favorites. So to me, I don't always use the points for potatoes. I'd rather have pasta or rice a lot of the time. Rice and pasta are still points on Weight Watchers. I'll still continue to track those, but I think I will definitely start to use more potatoes. I even forgot that I used to always slice up potatoes and make like air fryer potato chips that were 0 points because I would just use some non-stick spray and some seasoning on them, and I'm definitely going to start making those a lot more because they're really good. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the potatoes, the oats, and the lean meats. If you go into your Weight Watchers app and you hit the icon up top where it should be like your profile picture if you have one, if you scroll down to 0-point foods, that's where the updated 0-point foods list is. And I'm making this video on Tuesday morning when the changes have just been implemented. Mine actually came through last night on the app with the 0-point foods, but if you haven't had the change yet, it is coming. Even for Canada, I saw someone mention in one of the Weight Watchers threads, they had replied that they are going to have the changes in Canada as well. So it's just taking time for everyone to get on the same page with the app and make sure it's updated and stuff, but it should be by the end of, I think today or this week, that everyone has the updates. So when you go to your 0-point foods, you'll see that we've got some new ones here. So of course we've always had the corn, the eggs, the fish and shellfish, the fruits, beans, peas, lentils, chicken, tofu, vegetables, yogurt, and cottage cheese. And I do want to mention that it is different. If you are on the diabetic plan, you will not have these as 0-point options. The potatoes will still be points and stuff, but this is just the Weight Watchers plan, not the diabetic version where you get these as your 0-point foods. We've got oats in here now, and that includes oatmeal, instant plain oats, quick oats, rolled oats, steel cut oats. Then there is a lot of lean meats that I honestly don't even really eat that much of, so maybe it'll get me to start experimenting and cooking with some different meats. But a lot of beef, so different cuts of steak, filet, up to 90% lean ground beef is 0 points, which is huge. Usually when I buy it, I like to get the 96% lean because it's the lowest point option. That is also really hard to find, and it's always the most expensive option. So I think even being able to use the 93 will be really nice because the 96 is hard to find. But even the fact that the 96 is 0 points is really nice now because that's what I like to use to make burgers when I make like regular smash burgers and stuff at home. So that'll be really nice that it's 0 points now. There's also some strip steak, New York strip, all of that. We've got goat meat, lamb, pork tenderloin, rabbit, veal. So all of those are included now, and you can get that list again on the app when you go to 0 Point Foods. Then what's also nice, if you go into chicken and turkey, that's where it includes skinless turkey. So it does include dark meat and thighs now, but it has to be skinless to be 0 points. And then 90% lean and up is now 0 points. So super excited about that. Again, it'll help to just save some money in the long run and just kind of mix it up and have more options and not be worried about being restricted by the protein I'm eating. Now I can use more points for some other things, and I'm excited to just make more filling meals with this. So that's the update with the 0 Point Foods. I'm really excited about it, honestly, and I want to hear what you guys are excited for, what 0 Point food you're most excited that they brought back. They didn't bring back avocado, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, and I'm honestly fine with that. There still has to be some things that we track and stuff, and I feel happy with this list. I think it's kind of what we needed right now to just mix things up, and it'll help to get some good variety with some new foods. So it'll definitely change my shopping list. We're actually going grocery shopping in a couple days, and I'm gonna pick up some of these things and kind of make them more of a focus just to start incorporating them more. But one thing I want to mention, because there's always some people that feel that they overeat their 0 Point foods or they're concerned about that, there being too many. And what I do, the way I handle this is I always build my meals around 0 Point foods first. So I pick which 0 Point foods I'm gonna use based on what I have in the fridge, what vegetables, what proteins, and then I start to slowly add in the things that have points. So I'll add cheese or sauce or things like that that kind of add points to it, and sometimes like a carb, pasta, bread, whatever. But I always base it on the 0 Point foods, and I usually do meats as the regular serving size, so usually 3 to 4 ounces, and then vegetables I go a little bit over, so I feel like I'm definitely not going to be eating too many calories in vegetables, so I really try to bulk up my meals with those when I make them, whether it's like asparagus, artichokes, peppers, cucumber, zucchini, any vegetable that I'm using. I try to like have the most of that to kind of bulk it up first and make it more filling. And then for the protein, like I said, I do the regular size. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more, maybe if I'm doing like the 99% lean ground turkey, but a lot of the time when I do that, it makes the meal so filling that I just don't even need more than the regular portion size of protein. So when it comes to that, when it comes to oats, a lot of the time I usually just use the regular serving size of oats because again, I find that to be the perfect amount of a filling serving. What you can do though is start with the serving size and then make more if you want more. A lot of the times by the time I've eaten it and then I can make the decision to go back and have more, I just don't even want to go through the process of making it and stuff, and I'm usually good and satisfied. I feel like it's just really important to kind of use your best judgment, and for some foods maybe you can go over with the serving. Even for eggs, I feel fine if I have 3 to 4 eggs when I make eggs in the morning or an omelet or something. But when it comes to a serving of beans, I really don't want more than 1 serving because it's just gonna be so much more filling. So I'll usually start with the regular serving and then go from there. But again, it's what works best for you and how you're gonna be able to stick to it. So anyway, that's enough talk about the 0 Point foods. I'm excited. I wanna hear what you guys are excited about. But a couple other things that they're changing. I had mentioned that before my app had the macros at the bottom that they were testing, and now they are keeping those. So that's a nice option. For me personally, it's not totally useful, but that's just because I don't track everything. When I do my what I eat in a week videos now, I might not need to go into MyFitnessPal. I might just start tracking every single thing in WeightWatchers, and that way I can know my accurate totals, although it won't give calories. So that's kind of why I like to use MyFitnessPal for it. But on the app now, it's got protein, carbs, fats, fiber, and sodium. So as you're tracking, it'll update those numbers. And if you click into them, it gives you the breakdown in percentages and also some protein guidance, which I think is nice. But it doesn't give you a goal or anything like that. That's more for you to figure out with a dietitian or nutritionist, which is another option that they've added. So anyway, really quick, it's nice to have the macros. You don't have to use them. If you don't track everything, they're not gonna be as accurate. Like I usually find that my protein is way lower lower on here because I don't track all my 0-point foods, and those are most of my protein. So if you track every item, including 0-point foods, that could be really beneficial for these nutrient totals. But for me personally, I don't think I'll use it that much unless I'm doing like my what I eat in a week videos. But they do have another option now where you can meet with a nutritionist or a dietitian, and you can get some help with macros and some assistance on like what your daily goals should be and stuff. I think that a lot of them are covered by insurance if you have health insurance, but the way you can do that is if you go over to on your main app, you click the clinic button, which is where you can go to see the GLP-1 prescription options. But if you scroll down, you'll see nutrition counseling, and then you can click book a visit. And I started doing this, I didn't finish fully through, but you pretty much just put some information, your insurance provider with your card, and then they get back to you about whether or not your insurance covers the nutrition counseling. So that could be a really nice option if you don't really know where you're at with macros and that's something you want to focus on. Maybe if you've been on WeightWatchers for a while and you're kind of seeing a stall and you feel like maybe you need to focus more on getting more protein so you're fuller or something like that, or fiber, or if you're starting to lift weights and you want to make protein a priority. I think that that is definitely a really nice option that they've added. So you can check that out if that's something you're interested in. The other new thing is some app updates. So they have something where you can take a picture of your food and it'll give you a guesstimate of points, which I feel like this was a thing on MyFitnessPal a little bit ago, and I never even bothered to try it, but it is a really cool option. I'm not sure how accurate it will be, although I've heard some good things about it, but I'm definitely gonna try it out. I think it'll be nice at restaurants to just snap a quick picture and have it kind of guess, but again, you have to be smart about what it's doing. So if it comes up with something way lower point and you know what you're eating and you know that it's definitely more points, you can add points to it or something. We'll see how accurate it is, but I think it's a really nice tool with just staying consistent, because then even then there's like no excuse. You can just take a quick picture of your meal while you're with people and then you have it saved in there, and if you need to adjust it later you can. But staying consistent with tracking is one of the things that kept me having the most success on my journey, and it's just another one of those ways to stay more consistent with it. So I think it's something that'll be cool to check out. I haven't used it yet, like I said, but I think it could be a really beneficial tool. And even if it's not fully accurate, maybe just have an open mind about it and remember that like this is just a tool to help you stay consistent with the tracking. So I'm excited about that. Also, there's a way to import recipes from online. So if you like to get recipes from different bloggers and stuff, there's so many options online of different recipes. Mine, I don't think actually work with this because my website is kind of a mess. That's something that I have planned for the next year to get under control, but it's just been crazy this year. But anyway, you can go on like Skinny Taste or whatever and put a link in and it'll give you the points for the recipe. So all you have to do is, as if you were going to track food, you're gonna go ahead and click search right here. And then there's a plus button in the top left corner, and where it used to say just like quick add and all those things, now there is this button where you can add a link. You add a recipe from the web, you put a URL in here, and then it goes to the recipe and it'll track it. So I can do one really quick. Let's just look up Skinny Taste because that's the first one that's coming to my mind. Okay, so we've got a savory cottage cheese bowl. Let's go ahead and copy the URL and see. When you go into WeightWatchers, enter link URL, import recipe. Okay, and it went ahead and imported the recipe all typed out with points and everything, and it's got all of the ingredients tracked. So it looks like it's accurate, although when I went on her website, it looked like it said it was a 3-point serving, and this says it's 7 when it tracked it. So I would just have to go through and double check. Okay, so the only thing that's different is it tracked regular cottage cheese and her recipe calls for low-fat cottage cheese. So even that, you can see I can just go ahead and delete that item and then add my own cottage cheese that I like to use to make it recipe specific, and then you can just save it and track it. So it's kind of nice that you can actually make your own changes if you need to, but I would just double check if you import it to make sure that it's accurate with the ingredients that you're using. But again, you kind of have to have an open mind when using any technology and stuff like that, and it's just another tool to try to make things a little bit easier for us to stay on track. So those are the biggest changes to the WeightWatchers program for the upcoming year of 2025. I'm really excited about them. I'm excited about the 0-point foods. I'll definitely be using some of the new app features as well, but I think the biggest change for me is going to be the 0-point foods and just kind of change some of the things that I'm eating, because it kind of feels like I've gotten to the point where I'm eating a lot of the same stuff again lately, but through the holidays, I just try my best to stick to my routine and do what I know. So I'm excited. I feel like I'll probably get more into it starting January and starting new recipes and stuff, but I am excited for the change. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. I kind of like that it's not a whole program change. The points aren't changing. Your dailies for the day will not go down. Your weekly shouldn't be adjusted. Nothing's changing with the way they calculate points or anything. It's just adding 0-point foods in that we can now incorporate. And they did do test groups with both of these. So they did the regular program that they've had, and then they did the program with these extra 150 0-point foods, and they saw that it was pretty comparable with the results that the people had. So I think that that's a really good sign. And I do genuinely think that these foods can work as 0-point foods. I think it'll really help people to make more filling meals with some whole foods, because I feel like I always see comments about Weight Watchers being about processed foods, and I feel like it's gotten so far from that at this point. There are still a lot of people who really like to promote fat-free items and sugar-free items, and I even do from time to time use some of those things, but I think it's nice that they're making a focus on more whole foods that can be filling and then will leave you to less snacking and stuff. And you can even save your points for more of those foods that have point values. Again, you make the program work how it's gonna work best for you to be sustainable. That's what I've done over the years, and we just adapt to these changes, but it's always trying to make it easier for us and better. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I really am, and I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.